All right, where to start now?
Okay, let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you everyone for attending this this board meeting, November 10th. Paul, if you'll go ahead and take roll, certify the quorum and proof of notice.
Okay, so we've got Joe Mulcahy, Nathaniel Monks, Brian McAdon, Keith Coglington, Uwe Ruper, and Frank Canistra on Zoom. So we have a quorum, and notice was posted in accordance with Florida statute.
Okay, thank you, Paul. I know Paul sent out a copy of the minutes. I've had a chance to review them. Any comments, questions, changes, additions? Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Can I get a
Second.
second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I've just got a brief president's report today. Just two items I want to mention. If you've been to the last several board meetings, we've talked about a lot of the things that we've gotten accomplished over the summer and things that we're working on to move forward with the long-term planning committee. And one of the things that was sort of mentioned in the newsletter as well as the last several meetings was that we were in negotiations with the golf course and we were hoping to hear something from them. And we did get a verbal from them in the last week that they accepted our terms. And pending, we have to paper this up and get something in place. So thank you very much. This is really spearheaded by Brian. He and I tag teamed at the beginning of the year, started in January, so it only took us about 11 months to get it done. But this is really something I think will help us really take a bigger look at the, of the campus and make some improvements here at the community center. And we pretty much have we have a bigger white paper now that we can look off to, and we don't have anything. I think people have been coming up to me and saying, we hear there's this, we hear there's that. There's really just ideas right now. We're going to have to bring in fact, later on in the agenda, we're going to be looking to bring in an architect to, give us some plans and some suggestions for us to look at for the future. The second thing that I wanted to mention before we jump into the rest of the agenda is that October was a month of to really show what Pelican Marsh is with respect to community, people stepping up and participating in breast cancer awareness. We saved, we raised over $10,000. We did a lot of different activities. I won't mention them all, but I did want to mention that we have another fundraiser tonight. And it's to raise money for food distribution. I just signed up and got my t-shirt for $25. So if you want to come and participate, you can, or just come and show up and have some fun with your neighbors and friends. So that's it for my president's report. Paul, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you for manager report.
Thank you, Joe. Okay. I'll get my slides ready here. Okay, so you can tell that season has begun with all the activity starting to pick up around the community center. I also noticed because it takes me about another 15 to 20 minutes drive to work now with traffic, so they're here. To show you kind of how things are picking up, the following charts show the activity levels over the past 3 months, where we've been, and you can see where we're going as far as the activity picking up. For pickleball, you can see in August where we're at. The blue bar indicates the number of unique players, and the red bar signifies the number of plays for the month. And you can see August and September numbers and how October's really jumped up. So they're coming back, and everybody's getting ready to for a fun season. Same thing with tennis. You can see over the past 3 months where the number of players we had in the prior 2 months and how October's picked up a lot with the activity. And then the gym, you can also see where we're starting to tick up in activity of number of people using the gym. Group fitness, definitely you can see it pick up with the in October. Now spa, you can see where it started to tick up in September, but then October numbers went down a little bit. The reason for that is because we lost two of our main contractors, LN1 being one of them, who retired, and another one. So we were in the transition of finding replacements. Patrick reported he's found two great replacements, just started at the end of this month of in October. So you're seeing those numbers really pick up starting in November as far as the usage in the spa services. And the last one is the activities and bocce of the number of people for activities the prior 2 months and how you can see the activities with October really jumped. Also, participants in bocce has really picked up with the league play now started in October. Any questions on the numbers and the reports? Okay, great. Last month I reported that we had one last item on our summer projects that was still need to be completed, which was the installation of a patio with shade sails for seating along west side of Court 7. We were waiting on permitting from the county to get this project started. Well, our contractor last week finally stated that permitting has finally been approved for the project. So he said by the end of this month, they should be able to get started. However, with Thanksgiving coming around the corner, most likely it's going to be the 1st of December before they get started on installing the shades and the sails. Once that's completed, the pavers go in. And so the goal probably is to have this whole project completed and ready for use by the 1st of the year. Comcast is rolling out a new program where if you have a service issue and you call Comcast from the phone number you have registered with them on your account, you'll be able to reach a live agent with that phone call and not have to go through all the automated prompts that are required now, which we all know is very cumbersome to use. On December 10th, in the community center from 10 to noon, Comcast will be here holding a workshop to show you how to find out what number you do have registered with Comcast in your account. And if you want to change it, you can change it then. In addition, also other helpful hints and tips on how to monitor your account using the app that they have that you could download on your phone. So please mark your calendar for this event. And if you're unable to attend the event, it will be presented over Zoom and recorded for video reference in the future. On the maintenance front, we just completed the cleaning of all the tile in the community center and the pro shop bathrooms, as well as getting the carpet cleaned in the community center. However, we're starting to notice now a lot of clay being tracked into the area of the community center and also courtside bar and dining area. This clay damages and stains the flooring. So players, please make sure you properly clean your shoes if you plan to enter the community center or courtside bar area, or even better yet, bring an extra pair of shoes to change into. As we all know, it's really hard to remove the clay from the soles of the shoes after you play. So we really appreciate you helping us keep the community center clean and nice looking throughout the season. Remember, the best way to keep informed about all community activities is to make sure you're registered on the Pelican Marsh website and have the Pelican Marsh app downloaded on the phone. If you hear about upcoming events from your friends that you did not receive notice on, check your profile on the website to make sure you didn't accidentally opt out those emails. And if you need help checking this, contact the admin office and they'll help you out. Lastly, the staff and I wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday coming up. And for those traveling up north, safe travels to visit family and friends. And that's my report. Any questions?
Yes.
Last meeting, you all indicated that you got a new contract now with Comcast and your extension.
Yeah, so we renegotiated the contract with Comcast, and that will start January 1st, 2026.
Biggest thing we buy.
You you just haven't been here for the last few meetings, maybe you haven't read the newsletter, last couple newsletters. We've been mentioning it over and over again, but I'll mention it again. Yeah, we finalized and signed the contract, 8-year extension. We saved about $400,000 a year for the next eight years.
It's the bump.
Negative bump. Savings.
Anything else?
No, just.
Okay, okay. I disagree. We've been communicating it over and over again. I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Brian, for the treasurer's report.
Very good, Paul. If you can just pull up the highlights. I'll just note that the treasurer's report is a draft. The finance committee has not had an opportunity to review the financials, which just were generated late last week. But I think it's representative of where we're at. Okay, so our operating surplus for the year through October is about $10,000. That is about $47,000 worse than budget. The majority of those items that are creating the negative versus budget are listed under the operating expenses, the exceptions that I note there. We've talked quite a bit about the income taxes and having to recover or pay 23, 24, and 25's income taxes based on higher interest income than was planned. So all in all, that was a good thing, but building repairs and maintenance, we haven't talked about that increase. We had a situation where many of the lights in the parking lot were not working. There was some root damage into the electrical lines, and it was fairly costly for us to identify that damage and have it fixed, but they are indeed repaired now. Last meeting, we talked about the HVAC repairs and what we've done to address that on a go-forward basis, installing a new system that basically cleans out the lines routinely, as opposed to waiting for clogs requiring repairs. And from a food and beverage standpoint, our operating expenses are over budget about $14,000. You may recall that we put in a new point of sale system to support our restaurant, as well as we purchased a portable bar to be used at large events. And that makes up the majority of the difference or increase there. Under food and beverage, we are down about 3% from last year. However, the good news is when we were looking at this number over the summer, we were actually down about 11% mid-year. So after a number of revenue changes and changes to courtside's planning and events that they offer, we are now improved to the point where we project a annual revenue number of about $1,044,000. So that's actually quite an improvement from where we've been. October was very strong, really supported by the Welcome Back Party. From a reserve and capital standpoint, resale fees, 69 homes were sold through October, generating about $518,000, and that exceeds budget by about $90,000. And I'm sure we'll have some more home sales in the last 2 months of the year. So you may recall that we fund the replacement reserve first, which is fully funded for the year. So anything we get here goes straight to our capital fund. Okay, that's what I have. We'll talk more as we get into the budget discussion.
Okay, all right, thanks, Brian. Let's go ahead and jump into number 9, which is the board liaison updates. George is not at the meeting today, so I'll give a quick update on court sports, and then we'll go down the list. I've mentioned in my opening president report comments that we had a 2025 pink out all month long, but we had a fun run. Some people walked, some people ran. The second annual Pelican Marsh Pink Out Fun Run was an incredible day filled with laughter, camaraderie, and an outpouring of support for the American Cancer Society. Thanks to the amazing spirit of our community, the event was a huge success. There was 10 runners, it was over 100 runners, walkers, and even golf carters participated. And we raised over $10,000 for the American Cancer Society. And I want to thank everybody who participated and those that that donated. Appreciate your generosity and support. We had an Oktoberfest. The beer was flowing, the German spirit was alive. It was our first ever Pelican Marsh Oktoberfest. We celebrated a fantastic evening. Over 70 people came out and joined us. Everyone received a Pelican Marsh beer stein, and it was a great turnout for the court sports members. A Vow tennis exhibition was a big success. We raised over $1,500 for a Vow hospice through raffle tickets and generous donations. A big thank you to everyone who came out for this event, as well as Dave Levanchi, Mark Levine, and Jerry Hoffberg for their participating in the event. League play, October kicked off our fall USTA, CTA, and pickleball travel league teams. We have 5 tennis and 5 pickleball teams this fall that would love your support at our home games. I've been receiving notices of those, and hopefully we'll see more people coming out to those events. The schedule's been have been sent out weekly, also in the Court Sports newsletter. You can find them also on Court Reserve. And then finally, Victor led a group of 10 Pelican Marsh members at the Battle of Clubs pickleball tournament at the National Pickleball Center. Pelican Marsh finished 4th out of 16 clubs in Southwest Florida. This was a great representation of our Pelican Marsh pickleball program. So a lot of good things happening around court sports. Now I'll turn it over to Frank. Frank, do we have anything to mention with respect to bocce?
Good afternoon, guys. Frank Kinister here, calling from a Chicago suburb. It's 34 degrees and half an inch of snow outside. So I hope you guys are enjoying, appreciating where you are. Per usual, the bocce ball is run so well by Dino. The season is about halfway through. We're doing great. We also had to add on to Paul and Joe, our own American Cancer race, the Great Marsh Duck Race, which was very successful. I believe over 660 ducks were purchased, and that's the something we're going to plan on doing every year. But it was a great turnout for that, and we raised some money again for the American Cancer Society. But so that's great. Like I said, the season's halfway through, and everybody is laughing and enjoying. So if you get a chance, please go back there and see what we can do back for the bocce area. That's all I have today, guys.
All right, thanks, Frank. Next, Keith, any update on CDD County Projects Oversight Committee?
Yeah, not a lot of new information, but it's kind of a follow-up to the last discussion. The Galleria Road is supposed to be paved this month. So hopefully you've seen some of the work started out there, but not the actual paving activity. That's still planned for November. And then Vanderbilt Beach work for that intersection and expansion of Vanderbilt is slated to start as well. There's already some preliminary activity underway over there. The CDD has engaged a project management firm in order to manage the gate replacement on 41 that is slated to begin in May of 2026. So they've met with the project manager on that activity already, and there'll be more forthcoming about schedule and timing for that in the next month or two. So that's about it at this point. Not a lot of information.
Thank you, Keith. I'll just give a brief update on long-term planning. Again, nothing really new that's happened. They were really waiting for the answer on what we were going to, what was going to turn out with respect to the parking. So I think they will kick back into gear. We have, since the last meeting we were at, hasn't been anything happened because they've been really waiting to get an answer. And then I'll go ahead and turn it over to Uwe. Any updates on fitness committee?
Thanks, Joe. Sorry about my voice. It's I've had an unfortunate run-in with a tennis ball about a week ago, and my voice still hasn't come back fully yet. So the fitness committee had a meeting on the 4th. There haven't been a lot of meetings in the off season, so this was the first meeting in some time. There's a number of housekeeping issues. Those of you that do use the gym probably have noticed there's always small housekeeping issues, particularly because the gym is so tight and so small. The committee discussed those. No particular actions for the board other than the Patrick and the guys will look at reorganizing and improving the housekeeping. cleanliness was another issue brought up, but this has to do with what we as a foundation do. There was discussion about not enough cleaning. Again, no specific recommendation was made towards me, but it's an issue I think that maybe they'll follow up with Paul on, see what can be done. There was a discussion of one new piece of equipment that the committee is looking for. Again, they didn't specifically request it. They're going to take it back, discuss with Paul, and then see if there's a recommendation required. Staffing, some staffing discussion about whether staffing should be increased for the fitness committee. Not for the fitness committee, but for the fitness room. And that the group programs are kicking in. I think as Paul already mentioned, just like tennis, bocce, everything else is ticking up in utilization. The gym is starting to see increased utilization. October was a big uptick, and it's expected to increase. There was a discussion about the yearly cost of yearly passes and a discussion about comparing our passes to a nearby NCH facility that sells passes. Again, the committee didn't make a specific recommendation to me. They're going to just discuss this further. But there was a discussion about the cost of passes and what we should do. The biggest item that I think for the committee that's coming up is we will be discussing the gym expansion, which is now going to go sort of into full gear with the parking resolution.
Yep.
We now know how many square feet we have. If we have the parking, the next will be to hire an architect. And I think when we hire an architect, I would like to get the committee's input and other residents' input in what should we build. I think it's a big decision to make. It's going to be a major project. I think fitness is one core item in there. I think hopefully we'll cover more than one item, but I'm looking for input from the fitness committee on how do we make a better gym space and how do we organize that space.
Brian and I had kicked around, and maybe to Paul as well, that, we have this, we took in applicants for the long range planning committee, but I have to go back and look at those people on the committee to see what their backgrounds are and their level of, experience would be from an architectural standpoint. We may need a subcommittee of sorts to take a look at this as one project.
Yes.
And not leave it all to the long-term planning. We probably have people within the community that have a lot more experience than I would to come in and, offer suggestions and layout and so forth. So Paul, maybe we want to go ahead and send out a request for,
Okay. Well, Joe, I'm not sure if it's really architectural design we'll be looking for conceptually. I think Uwe is right that we'll probably need some sort of subcommittee, a representative from fitness, a representative from, activities and so forth. Because our vision really would be to do a 2,500-foot expansion.
Right.
Reconfigure the inside, expand the gym so we have a cycling room, but not losing sight that we also want a game playing room. Like we want to be able to reach out to a lot of different groups. So we'll probably
we have a lot of people, probably what you're saying is we have a lot of people that have already raised their hand. They're part of different groups. We should probably pick from.
Yes, and put
come
some
up with
structure
something.
around it. Yeah.
So
And
we probably have, 5,000 or 10,000 square feet of desired uses and 2,500 that we can actually build.
Right.
So
Is it 2,500 or 35? Somewhere between
Maybe.
25 and 3,500.
3,000 maybe.
it depends how many spots we add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, Jerry. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can, so I think we've covered everything, and Brian, I know you're gonna cover the budget in a second. Maybe what I can do now is, Nathaniel, do you have a copy of the, maybe we go ahead and jump to the design review, those 3 items, so we get to take care of that? Do you have a copy?
I got a copy back.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah, I found one. Thank you. Okay, so on the design review was the 3 things we're voting on is the 1730 Marsh Run, front entrance of the community. Savannah submitted a request to increase the bed size and add 2 foxtail palm in front of the monument entry sign to the community. The committee was unanimous to recommend that was approval as it was submitted. The second item was the homeowner, 1063 Spanish Moss Trail.
They wanted to update their landscaping in front of the home, and they submitted the plans. The committee was unanimous, said that they, as it was submitted, they approve it. And then 1325 Little Brew Heron Court, the homeowner there wants to replace their roof, and they submitted the tile samples, and the committee unanimously recommended approval as submitted.
So I think all we need now is just to get an approval from the board. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. For those that weren't here the last time, Paul, any update on the sign? I think those, trying to think of which community that,
Savannah,
was it
same
Sa-
community that's now asking to actually update some more, but since then they've repainted the sign to the new coloring. It's much better.
Okay,
much
so
better.
that issue's resolved.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead into new business, and so we only have two items there, and Brian will go ahead and turn over 10.1, the approval of the Pelican Marsh 26 budget.
Very good. Thanks, Joe. You may recall that at the last meeting, we presented a draft of the 2026 budget and asked for any comments from the community. We did this year accelerate the timeline for getting the budget out at the request of the individual HOAs, who then turned that around and put on their 26 bills as well. So I'm glad that we're able to do that. I just want to turn to the community now and looking at the budget as we reviewed each line item last month. Just as a reminder, we're showing the annual assessment going down from $2,083 per household to $2,073. We also are defining a capital building fund, taking advantage of the cable savings and setting aside $300,000 as part of the annual assessment to be used for that. And I have some specific wording I want to use related to that, but just want to open up to the community if there's any comments or questions related to that.
Richard, can you come up to the mic? Thank you.
First of all, I think you guys are doing a great job. I really appreciate all the things that you're doing to improve our community. I just wanted, I'm sure you all know what you're going to do with this money or how you're going to spend some of it. So if you could just, in the course of the meeting, kind of amplify where that money is going to go, because it is money that we're saving, but now we're going to use it for the capital. So if you could just be sure and amplify.
Right.
that.
So Rich, as we've been discussing, this is very specific for a building expansion.
Mhm.
So looking at the opportunity we have from the cable savings, we thought this was a great way of setting aside some funds. And this is just one lever that's available to pay for a project.
Right.
Probably talking about a project that at the end of the day may be $2-3 million. We haven't really gotten that far down the road. So these funds specifically are for one purpose only: building expansion.
Mhm.
That building expansion may include, if the community votes for it, parking lot across the street,
Right.
reconfiguring the inside. If the community doesn't vote to move forward with that project, these funds will be returned to the community. This is not a
Great.
capital slush fund.
Great.
Okay, this is very specific. We're lucky that we have savings over a 7-year period related to
Oh,
cable.
Super.
You could multiply this out to $2 million of whatever funding we might need for this project. We do have some other savings that we have. Our normal capital fund has a little bit of surplus. We have an operating surplus that can be applied towards any investment as well. But specifically to this 300,000,
Mhm.
it's just for any building expansion that we would do.
Right. I keep hearing the word gym expansion, so we don't need to talk that now, but I guess you're going to tell us more about that, because I go to the gym a lot and it's crowded certain times of the day, but it's not crowded a lot of times. And I keep hearing spinning, and I don't know how many people spin. The bikes are here. There's maybe 20 bikes. So, but I see a lot of people playing cards out here. The place is full. So I'm sure that as you analyze many things, you'll, share with us what your analysis has shown as to whether the space should go to spinning or canasta or cards or bocce or whatever. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, part of this, Rich, is really responding to the survey that we did at the beginning of the year in terms of what the community wants. And as you may recall, there was a spin room prior to the restaurant.
Sure.
And we kind of lost that for the restaurant. And the bikes never really found a home. And they end up clogging other activities up,
Sure.
whether it be in bocce or inside here. And I don't know about you, but a ballroom to me is no place to have people sweating onto your rugs. So.
I agree.
So finding a long-term home for that is definitely one of the objectives. But as I mentioned before, whether it be a card room or a place to play different games, a pool table perhaps. I mean, these are all part of the visions that, as Uwe was saying, we need to now, put together on paper and present to the community as, this is what this 3,000 square feet is going to look like and how it's going to affect you.
Yeah, and I think using data as you've done with pickleball and tennis, you don't want to put too much into something that's not being used or too little into something that is being used. So thank you.
Yeah, Rich, I think there's demand from all corners because we're in a very fortunate position that people use the facility. People come to this club. People use this club. And it's a high-end problem. Our biggest problem has been for years finding space for people, finding space for activities. If you recall, 6 years ago, we did a planning study, or 5 years ago, we did a planning study, and gym expansion was high on the list. It never made it because we decided to go ahead with a restaurant, and that consumed all the capital we had. Then we did the survey earlier in the year that the board commissioned. That survey showed, again, gym expansion being high on the list. But that doesn't mean that gym expansion is the only item, and I think from discussions I've had with both residents and with other board members, everybody understands that maybe we could make this expansion benefit more than one group. So maybe do the gym expansion and do some, expansion of use space, particularly if we reconfigure the area that's the sort of the locker room area. We think we can get quite a few square feet out of that area. We may be able to maybe make the expansion 2 stories. Hasn't been decided yet, but potentially we could put some of the offices upstairs, for example. Would give us more floor space on this floor. But that's what's up for discussion. But back to the budget, that's what the budget is for. We've had two recommendations from planning, plus a survey. They've all recommended to go ahead with a gym expansion. And we're now trying to make it happen.
Any other comments related to the budget? Any comments from the board? So I have a little bit of a lengthy motion, just because I want to make sure that it's clear, as I was pointing out to Rich, that these funds are very specific towards a building construction project. So my motion is to accept the 2026 budget as presented at the October 22nd, 2025 Foundation Board meeting with an annual assessment of $2,073 per household. This budget includes an allocation of $300,000 for the exclusive purpose of expanding the community center, including building addition, interior wall reconfiguration, and parking lot expansion deemed required for any such expansion. This specific building reserve will be credited to the community in future budgets if the expansion, which will require community approval, does not go forward.
Is there time on that? Go forth within 5 years or?
I purposely left it not time bound, yeah.
I like the intent of your motion.
I would second the motion.
Favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, next item up. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. The next item up is the approval of funds up to $25,000 to develop architectural plans for the potential expansion of the community center. I think we need to bring somebody in that knows what they're doing. So I'm in favor of this. Do we have a, I'll motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, I think that's it for the new business.
The only thing, Joe, I just want to, sometime this week, we should put our heads together and just think about what is the right participants on that subcommittee.
Yep.
Now that we are ready to go forward.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, you know, as you said,
is.
we've been working on this
For
for,
11 months.
for a long-
Well, I've heard people have come up to me and said that we've been working on this for like 15 or 20 years. And the fact that we're even able to have discussions and bring people to the table and get this to happen was kind of a miracle.
in the
So,
first month we were on the board,
Yeah.
well, I was on the board, we walked across the street.
Yep.
And started, you know, thinking about what we can do over there.
I think one of the big things was Bob Gianetti. He's got an even keel personality, and I think he was somebody that helped us sort of navigate to that. And once we had that, and then bring in the I think just new faces and new personalities to Pelican Marsh Board and the Pelican Golf Course Board. I think there was some history there. I don't know what it was. I wasn't here, but I think the fact that we got it done is is a big achievement.
I do have a question for Paul on this. Paul, let's say we get a dozen or 15 parking spots over there. Do we then need to go to the county to get them to credit us those parking spots for an expansion? How does that work?
Well, first of all, we have to put an application in to have those spaces approved as an addition to our current space allocation. So that's the first step, is to now fill out the application. Costs about a couple $1,000s to get this thing processed and get the county to approve those as being additional spaces into addition to our current spaces. Then we had those as credit, then move forward with the construction.
And Paul's had preliminary discussions
Yes.
with them that they've verbally had indicated that, yes, they'll be
Yeah,
able to.
verbally, they looked at, what I presented, they said it looks like everything's in line where it would be approved.
Right.
So,
Because I would want to make sure that when we start the architectural, that's sort of something we can count on, that we can count on the parking spaces being credited to us, being available to us.
well, now that we found out from the golf course just last week about they're willing to move forward with this. I've already started the preliminary discussions with the county. So this week I'll be working on getting the application finalized and submitted to them, pay the fees, and hopefully we'll get something back soon.
So
sooner than
like
later.
always, you're way ahead of us, Paul.
I'm just trying to stay ahead of the game.
Paul, will we know that, will we know the answer to that before we give money or a contract to golf?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I think when we do eventually have an agreement with the golf course, it's contingent on us getting approval from the membership to spend the money.
Yes.
Going to light the area, have lighting?
The parking area, you mean, or? We haven't, So-
First of all, it's only going to be for
employees.
employees.
Daytime.
So somebody that comes in the morning, because we don't. Yeah, it's
Yes.
just for the employees. So for instance, Paul comes in the morning, he can park there. As I've been saying, if I could have had the commute from over there to over here when I worked in the city, I would be very happy to park over there and walk across the street. So, 12 or 15 employees will park over there. That way it frees up a bunch of spots over here that people use 10 or 12 times a day.
I mean, I would believe a crosswalk application would be part of our process here. I don't recall where the light poles are over there, Jerry, to be honest. But
Gonna need some illumination, and the other side of the coin is the employees that are not here at night. Bingo, you guys been down here at bingo night?
Mhm.
Okay, I can tell you, if there's parking spaces available over there, whether they're employees or not, they're gonna take them.
We're gonna have
it's a- it's a-
security with
it's
fobs.
gated, yeah.
It's gonna be gated.
It's a
It's
fob
gonna be a
gated.
fob. You're gonna have security access to, so there's only gonna be a limited, just every Tom, Dick and Harry can't just go park over there. It's only gonna be a limited amount of people that can do that, and they would be employed.
This is security from, whatever maintenance equipment they have over there and so forth. Yeah.
I had one more item, and then I'll just open it up for board comments. I failed to mention this. Somebody brought to my attention, maybe Frank, can you hear me? I think
Yes,
there-
sir.
I think and we don't have to vote on this or anything right now, but I wanted to put it on the agenda and have Paul look into it for the next meeting was, I think court sports, specifically pickleball, wanted to look into some kind of water fountain or something like that on the other end of the pickleball.
That is correct. It's something that's been requested by quite a few people. It would limit some of the people getting in line for the water on the other side where the main one is. I know we have the water hookup over there, And we have the freshwater and the one right next to it. It would be a perfect spot. Johan and I went over it, and it would be a nice thing just to put some sort. It's got to be covered. It can't be a water fountain because that thing would rust out very quickly. So it's got to have a covering of some sort. But if we could just get something back there, and I kind of ran through some of the things with Ally too, price wise, but I'll leave that for the board to discuss. But if we could get that to pass, that would be a very nice gesture and something kind of needed back there.
Chris had called me and mentioned it, so I just wanted to throw it out there, let people know
Yes.
that you guys had offered it up for discussion but we don't have any
Absolutely.
details on that.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Like I said, as the crowd starts coming in, and people are sitting back there, which is the whole idea. Paul's done a great job providing tables and umbrellas and benches. It would just be a nice thing to be able to, fill up a water bottle instead of walking around. And, it's just something that, if not needed, very well appreciated. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I think the board can, between now and next month, get more information, and we'll decide whether we put it on the agenda for further discussion.
Sure, great, thanks.
Any other board comments? Any other resident comments?
I met Barger at the last board, actually, over a year ago plus, was mentioning the fact that downloading on the system here during season with the internet, the broadband is exhausted from 8:30 until 11 o'clock at night, downloading any of the apps, okay? Have you talked to, during the negotiations, if they're gonna beef up the broadband?
Right now, we are being offered 100 megabytes download speed, which is consistent with the entire area. And in the contract, it states when they bump up the entire area, we also get bumped up accordingly. So we will get bumped up as they offer higher speeds.
So I checked mine at my place and I'm already at 500. I'm actually 600.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, some days, if a lot of people are not using it, you'll get higher speeds. But yes.
And was the problem just the internet access, or was it the server as well, that our server is too slow
Well, it all depends on the
for
home.
feeding information? So if
Well, I would also recommend that every household, Comcast is doing an upgrade of their modem. Make sure you have the most upgraded modem in your household, which can,
sorry, I thought the question was about whether
Here at the community center.
the residents had access to server here to download acts and regulations.
oh, no, our server's private. You can't get into that. But he's just talking about general download speeds.
At your house.
Residential.
In system here, not out of there.
Oh, okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, if that's happened, good, but I'll know when everybody gets here.
I think to get the higher speed, you do have to have the new equipment. So I got new equipment
The new
installed.
equipment.
It's been advertised
Yep.
locally. You could just walk into the store and bring your own modem in, and they'll give you a new modem and they'll hook it up. If you have any trouble, all you have to do is dial it in and they'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, they sent a tech for free to my place in May, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Took them half an hour and they were out.
Yeah.
Very simple process. Any other resident comments? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Hey.
very much. Hope to see many of you tonight at the fundraiser.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the snow, Frank.
Yeah. Hey, Frank, it's gonna be 40 tomorrow,
Bring some
you
back.
know,
That's all right.
for us.
Bring us some back.
Yeah, bring us, yeah.